I think to go in business, the driver behind this was more my interest of doing things, I think. I truly saw also that it is the industry, it is companies that are a very, very important part of the society. The creating value in society, the creation of jobs, the creation of wealth, value in general, is done by companies. But also the fact that you can create something with people together looks like a good, something that always was of my interest, that's why. Then people inspire me. My father was in business. So at the end of the day, always somebody around talking about business and doing things, and a good year, bad year, competition is there. So you have many elements that are quite interesting for me. What you learn with perspective about a career and how you build up a career, the most important part is to understand that a career is a long distance run. Don't be too nervous, but trust yourself. Don't condition your professional happiness with the end station. If you say I'm gonna be professionally successful only if I arrive to that job, then you condition your life in a very dangerous way, because then if you don't get there, then you actually feel as a failure. So it is more the journey that should be of your interest. It is the journey that counts, and enjoy the journey. You should enjoy what you do and not condition too much of where you get. And guess what? And when you do the right things, you do it with passion. You work well with your colleagues, and you work well with your peers. Eventually, the promotions and the interest in getting higher into the hierarchy is coming then with time, but only with time. In aligning in a company the people towards a common purpose, first of all, we share the same principles as persons and all that. But that's the first condition. The second dimension is that you really have a compelling dream or vision, as we call it. It is a little bit the definition of the hill to take. And that has to be very simple, very straightforward. We in Nestle, we call it the one-pager, the roadmap, which is basically saying what we want to do, how we're going to measure our success over time, what we're going to leverage as competitive advantages, where we're going to look for growth, and how we're going to organize to do that all effectively and efficiently. And that all based on our corporate culture and principles. It's a one-pager. Everybody sings from the same song sheet, but it's very simple, people can understand. And when you have then that purpose, then it is really to rally the people and put the right people in the right place. And put the leadership into all the levels of the company. It's very hard for one to speak about his own leadership style, but what I like and what I feel is a strength that one can have in a company is really to inspire people. I'm a really team player. I do believe in the 1 + 1 is more than 3, it's 11. You see, when you manage a company as big and diversified and also as localized as Nestle, you have to go through people, you have to trust people. And that's a very important dimension in leadership, I think. It's just to be there for your team and to really inspire your team and then create the alignment. And that's also a very important part of leadership, is somebody who can bring people behind a common purpose and motivate them to identify them personally with that purpose. It is only when the personal objectives are coinciding or falling together with the objective of the company that you have a very good dynamics. And that is all about leadership, somebody who just make that happen, that coming together of personal objectives and aspirations with the aspiration of the company. I'm 31 years now in Nestle. We have many people, many years in Nestle. So somewhere you share the common values and principles. We are a very principle-based company. We are not a rule-based company. I've been with Nestle out of my country, which is Belgium. I actually never worked for Nestle in Belgium. So out there, and have lived in many, many countries for Nestle, and always saw these dimensions coming back, the principles that we're working in with our corporate culture that is very, very explicit. There's a lot of interaction. I travel a lot. We see the operations and countries, and we try to do town halls or question and answer sessions, and there you connect again. And guess what? You may be talking about quite a sizable company, and yet at the same time, when you do that, and you do that often, you get to quite a lot of people in a short time frame. And then also be very consistent. There is no such thing as all of a sudden a new purpose or a new vision. You have to adapt. You have to adjust. You have to be aware and sense what's going around you. You're not alone in the marketplace. So competition is doing things. You have to be flexible. Yet at the same time, that long-term inspiration, that line where you walk on, is quite stable to a certain extent. So that helps too. Business, you have to see the long term. Always try to combine long-term inspiration, short-term action. If you would sacrifice the long term for the short term, then you may get into the trouble we were in a few years ago. When you see and starting to have dimensions, the lack of perspective and going after really the short term, you can take out the livelihood of tomorrow out of your business. So you have to maintain context in your business. Another good piece of advice is that a business should also link up with society at large in a positive way. We are quite a sizable company, and a sizable company like ours has to link up its own business, so it has to be successful by linking up positively with society at large. That is what we call internally creating shared value. Means that whatever we do, in every part of the value chain, we have to create value for the company, shareholder value, and yet at the same time we have to create also value for society at large. That means linking up positively, creating a positive contribution to society at large. It's only in these dimensions, long-term projected, that a company can be successful. As also a society can only be successful when it has a very good and thriving economy.